Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. Well, the final league game of the 2021 T20 World Cup, India's campaign, India's chances for the semi-final, of course, over. Pakistan, New Zealand going on from Group 2, England and Australia from Group 1. That's the semi-final. Those are the four semi-finalists. But India are playing Namibia, in which is the last league game of this T20 World Cup. Also, this game, of course, it's a dead rubber. There's no real importance attached to this game, but India will look to finish on a high. Why? Because this is Virat Kohli's final match as captain of India's T20 international side. And this is, of course, also a farewell game for Ravi Shastri, the head coach, who is making way for Rahul Dravid, who will link up with the team for the series against New Zealand at home. So there are a few factors to play for. There is, of course, pride to play for, as well as for Namibia. If you look at the Associate Nations, Namibia have easily been the most impressive team. They have shown their intent. They have come out. They've fought hard. They've really done themselves their reputation some good as an associate nation. This is, of course, the first time India and Namibia are playing in a T20 international, and Virat Kohli here won the toss and decided to bowl first against Namibia. And he says this is what yes, India lost the toss in the first couple of matches against Pakistan, New Zealand. They lost those games by heavy margins. Bharat Arun said as well that the toss has been a crucial factor in this tournament, not offering that as an excuse, but that has been a bit of a downer for India, if you would like. Well, one change then for each team. Rahul Chahar finally gets a game, and he's in for Varun Chakravarti, while Namibia have brought in Frillink in for Birkenstock. That's the one change for Namibia. So finally, the wrist spinner Rahul Chahar gets a game in this T20 World Cup. I'll just give you the playing 11 in a bit while we wait for the final list to come out. This has been a disappointing tournament. Of course, that heavy defeat, 10-wicket defeat to Pakistan, going down to New Zealand by 8 wickets. The batsmen looked timid. They looked pretty listless in the first couple of games. They couldn't withstand the pressure from some quality bowling, especially Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf, then Trent Bolt, Ish Sodhi, Tim Saudi. These guys were just too good for India. The dew did play, the toss did play a factor, but again, there is no real excuse for the kind of cricket India played, and they have to really now go to reboot, readjust their cricket and their approach to the T20 format. Hopefully, under Rahul Dravid and the new captain coming in, there will be a bit of a revival there. But India did bounce back against Afghanistan. Massive victory. Scotland again. That was a record victory. They chased down a low total in about 6 overs, 6.5 overs. They boosted the net run rate, but with Afghanistan losing to New Zealand, that could pay to India's hopes, and New Zealand, of course, going through because they had 8 points. And India, if they win against Namibia, will only finish with 6, which wasn't going to be enough. The net run rate is obviously going to be an issue in a tournament like this, but India at least recovered that and gave themselves some chance. But like we've been saying all along, their results were going to their fortunes in the race to the semi-finals were going to be dependent on the results of all other teams. So that was that then. But this is what it is. India are now going into the last game of this last league game of this T20 World Cup with this team. Here's the playing 11: KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, the top three, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, the wicketkeeper, Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, R. Ashwin, Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah. And like I said, that one change, Rahul Chahar comes in for Varun Chakravarti. For Namibia, it's Stephen Bard, Michael Varlingen, Jared Erasmus, the captain, Zane Green, the wicketkeeper, David Wies, all-rounder. Keep an eye out for him there, as well as J.J. Smith, another bowling all-rounder, Jan Nickel Lofty-Eaton, Craig Williams, Troppelman. Keep an eye out for Troppelman as well. He has been impressive. He has been pretty impressive with his pace and with his accuracy. And Jan Frilling, the all-rounder who comes in today. And of course, there's Bernard Scholes. This is the Namibian playing 11 for India. Like I said, this is the end of an era. Not that this World Cup campaign has been disappointing, but under the Kohli Shastri era, this is they have achieved a fair bit. You keep the ICC tournaments away. Virat Kohli has been extremely successful in bilateral T20I series. Ravi Shastri, the coach, he's overseen two test victories over Australia. The second one was a very depleted Indian team. Seven or eight of the main players were missing. Virat Kohli had gone home after the first test match. There were injuries in the camp. Ravi Shastri literally had to dig deep in the resources available to him down under and delivered. Then there were some significant performances in England as well. The last test match, of course, will be played has been rescheduled to be played next year. But India came out with a 2-1 lead over England in that test series. So that was really impressive with the way India performed in test cricket overseas under Ravi Shastri's watch. Virat Kohli will be disappointed because he's been a great batsman, he's been a good leader, but no ICC trophies in his cabinet. Remember, under Virat Kohli, the captain, India went on to the final of the 2017 Champions Trophy. They went to the semi-final of the 2019 50 over World Cup. They went to the final of the 2021 World Test Championship. And but in this one, the T20 World Cup, that is where so many factors were hinging on. And Virat Kohli, of course, announced his retirement, beg your pardon, announced his decision to step down as T20I captain before this World Cup. As of now, he is the ODI captain. But will this impact his ODI captaincy as well? That is something we'll watch out over the next few days or few weeks. We'll see what the way forward is. Remember, there are two World Cups coming up. Of course, there'll be a new captain leading India in the T20I World Cup next year. There's also 50 over World Cup coming up in 2023. So it's just about a couple of years from now, less than 2 years from now. That's going to be significant as well. We'll see what India can do in the next 2 years under a new coach for sure, under a new T20 captain for sure. But will there be more changes in that setup, and how India really evolve in their approach? You've seen, I think these batsmen are capable. Of course, you talk of the quality of the bowling of New Zealand, Pakistan, and it's so different from what Afghanistan, Namibia, and Scotland will offer. But at least they showed that intent, they showed that fearlessness to go out and just express themselves, and even if it was to give themselves just that one sliver of hope and boost their net run rate, so that hopefully for them, Afghanistan could have defeated New Zealand. But obviously, the Black Caps have just been so clinical and so precise. And remember what I said, I don't remember too many upsets when smaller teams or lower ranked teams have taken New Zealand on. So that is what it is now. India have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first against Namibia. Can Namibia's batsmen pose somewhat a challenging total? Scotland were completely overwhelmed by India's bowlers. Will India do repeat what they did against Scotland? Will it be an early finish? It all remains to be seen. But whatever it is the end of Virat Kohli's reign as T20 captain. He had also stepped down as the IPL captain for Royal Challengers Bangalore. He's of course, this is his final game as T20 captain for India. So this is the end of an era, really. Virat Kohli, T20 leader. That'll be the last time you watch that on your screens as India take on Namibia. 15 minutes from now is when action commences. I'll of course join you back at the end of this game. For Indian fans, they really want this team and this Kohli Shastri pair to go out on a real high. We'll wait and see how the bowlers deliver. They were brilliant against Scotland. They were really good against Afghanistan. Can they wrap up this game against Namibia in short time? Thank you so much for joining me. Do subscribe to Sports Today. We'll come back with a lot more. And of course, we're waiting 15 minutes away from the final league game of the T20 World Cup before the semifinals get underway in a couple of days from now. Thank you so much. Have a very good evening.